Now, over the next couple of pages, what I've done is I've written out all 12 keys, all right, so all 12 major 7, minor 7, and dominant 7th chords in the A form, the B form, and then also with fourths added in the right hand. Okay? Now, let me explain what that means with the fourths added in the right hand. Typically, you're playing with a group. Okay, so let's say you have a bass player, a drummer, you're playing piano or keyboard, and then there might be a vocalist, okay, or a trumpet player or whatnot. Basically, you're not playing the melody of the song. Okay, now if you're not playing the melody of the song, you might be wondering, well, what do I do with my right hand? If I have C major 7 there with the left hand, do I just double? Well, sure, you could do that, but once again, it's kind of silly to just double every note because you're already playing it down there. So why don't we do something a little bit different? Why don't we change the shape? Especially since this is third, 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 third. You know, it's very tertial, okay? So what we do instead is we can use stacked fourths, right? Now a stacked fourth is just fourth and fourth. Once again, I talk about chordal voicings and fourths and stuff a lot in DVD702. So if you need to know what that's all about, I suggest you check that out. Now, that's a fourth. That's an interval of a fourth. That's an interval of a fourth. If you don't know intervals, DVD701, I go through the intervals. So here I have fourths built on the 6th, all right, or 13th, however you want to look at it. I like to think of fourths building from the bottom up. Some people like to say this is fourths coming down from the 5th. Whichever way works for you, that's what you use, okay? So I like to say built on the 6th, you might say built on the 5th and coming down, whatnot. All right, so here I go. Here's my major 7. You know that chord voicing, that's the A form, that's the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9, so E, G, B, D, and then I have A, D, and G up here. This is fourths. Now if I just play a C, I'm going to sustain it, and listen to that big full chord there. If I play root and 5, I mean that's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous sound right there. Now I can also you see here that I can use that same fourth voicing, right? Those same fourths up there when I go to my B form. Even though I'm like close like that, it's no big shake, right? That's not a problem. Right? Now let's say that these fourths up here for some reason are just too much for your hand. It's too much of a stretch. Well, you can use just one of them. Obviously the one that's closer to the chord is going to sound a little bit better, right? Because it's not going to be as much of a distance in between the hands. You want to look for that when you're looking at two-handed chord voicings. That's kind of a lot of distance, that whole octave. We have all this space in here. Whereas here it's not so bad. Now, some other fourths that you can use on a major 7 would be built on the 3rd, built on the 9th, okay? So now once again, though, if I'm playing this chord voicing, I might have to get out of the way, or I could come up here and do that B form. It's the first part of Green Dolphin Street. Oh, there we go. So those fourth voicings, real nice sound there, okay? All right, so once again, C major, right? That's the B form, the 7th, the 9th, the 3rd, the 5th, and fourths stacked up from the 9th. See, when I play that melody of Green Dolphin, I don't have an example for this. I'm just doing this spur of the moment, but you see, I just get that hand out of the way. Okay, I can keep holding this chord down now. See how I'm using that chord voicing, right? That one that's not part of the A and the B. I talked about that in the last chapter. Okay, all right. So there we go. So you can build on the 9. You can build on the 3rd. You can build on the 6th or 13th. You can also build on the 7th. And you see how I'm just moving around like that in the right hand, but the left hand stays the same? I can just use that left hand when comping. So if you know, you got to kind of think about having a bass there. So I can keep that left hand exactly the same, but the right hand I could just move around with those different fourth voicings.